my name is Mimi, and today I'm gonna to read a book called Lost in the Desert. Imagine for I'll read and imagine. Lost in the Desert by Paul Shipton, illustrated by Matteo Pinata. Meet the characters. Hello, my name is Rosie. This is my brother. Hi, I'm Ben. This is Grandpa, and here's Grandpa's fantastic van. It can go anywhere. Ben, Rosie's brother, Rosie, Ben's sister, Grandpa, Ben and Rosie's grandfather, Clunk, Grandpa's robot, Max, Ben's friend, Sammer, a man who works in the desert. Imagine. Now, let's read in the story Lost in the Desert. Chapter 1. It was raining hard outside, but Ben, Rosie, and Max were happy. Grandpa was taking them away for the weekend. Please, can you go to the place that's dry and sunny? Asked Max. Yes, agreed Rosie. There's somewhere with sand, please. Dry and sunny, said Clunk. With sand? No problem. Clunk started the van. The robot typed the number into the computer, and suddenly the van is in the new place. But where? I can't see, said Clunk. There was sand everywhere. They couldn't see the ground or the sky. There was just sand all around them. Strong wind hit the van and turned it around in the air. It's a storm, shouted Ben. A sandstorm. Suddenly, the van hit something and stopped. What's happened? Asked Max. They aren't moving. The computer screen was black. I need to look at the engine, said Grandpa. But I can't do that until the storm ends. They sat and listened to the wind. When the sandstorm finished, Grandpa tried to open his door, but it didn't move. I can't open it, said Grandpa. There's too much sand outside. At last, they got out of the van and looked around. Wow, we're in the desert, said Max. An empty desert. Rosie smiled. I want sand, but not this much. Rosie smiled. Grandpa was looking at the front of the van. We can't go until the van out of this sand, he said. Can you pull it out, Clunk? He asked. What? Said the robot. His eyes moved around and around. Who's Clunk? Chapter 2. Clunk did not get better. As the sun moved slowly across the blue sky, the day got hotter and hotter. The little robot was going around and around in a circle. What's wrong with him? Asked Ben. Perhaps he's too hot, said Grandpa, or there might be sand in this computer. I need my tools to find out, but they're at home. I must drink enough water, said Ben. They're very important in the desert. After they found their water bottle, they all sat in the shade of the van. What now? Asked Rosie. How can we go home? Grandpa was thinking. The van's radio is broken, and we can't use cell phone here, he said. We need a different way to find help. When evening came at last, the air wasn't as hot as before. Suddenly Ben stood up. He pointed at something that far away. What's that? The others looked too. It's smoke, said Max. Maybe somebody cooking dinner on a fire. We can walk there and ask for help. It's too late to leave now, said Grandpa. It's going to be dark soon, and that smoke is far away. Grandpa smiled. That's given me an idea. We had fireworks last week for a new year. There's still a rocket in the van. He went to the van to look. I have it, he shouted happily. Now Where are the matches? Grandpa began to look in another box. But suddenly he pulled his hand out. Ouch! That's hurt! A little animal jumps to the sand. A scorpion! Chapter 3. Are you going to be okay, Grandpa? Asked Rosie. Scorpion stings are dangerous. I'll be fine, Grandpa said. Rosie wasn't sure. Grandpa's face was red and looked sick. Try to sleep, Rosie said. Ben and Max are still trying to find matches. They aren't here, said Ben at last. The desert quickly became cold at night. They tried to sleep, but it was a long wait for the morning. Grandpa was still sleeping and the sun came up again. Ben stood up. We must find the people who made that fire, he said. What else can we do? Clunk can't help us. The robot is still going around in that circle, but more and more slowly. Ben took his compass out of his pocket and Rosie gave Max 2 water bottles. Please be careful, he said. It wasn't easy to walk on sand. The day wasn't very hot at first, but as the sun climbed higher, the day got hotter and hotter. Soon the boys were very tired. Their legs hurt, their arms hurt, their bodies hurt, but they did not stop. Max drank some water. Don't drink too much, said Ben. We'll need water later. They walked for hours. Is this the right way? Max asked. Ben put his hand on his pocket. Oh no! I don't have a compass now. He looked at the desert all around with them. Without a compass, how would they find the way? What's now? Ben said. Soon our water bottles are going to be empty. But Max was smiling and pointing. Look, he said, camels. Chapter 4. My name is Summer. The man on the camel told them. Do you live here in the desert? Max asked. Summer smiled. No, I take people here on vacation. But tell me, why are you lost in the desert? Ben quickly explained about Grandpa and the van and the scorpion. So where's your van? Asked Summer. Ben looked around at the desert. I don't know. At the van, Rosie was getting more and more frightened. Grandpa was still sleeping, and the clock wasn't moving. Where's Ben and Max? Rosie thought. He looked around at the rocket sadly. With no matches, it couldn't help them. Wait, thought Rosie. Maybe I can use something else to start a fire. He looked around for something to use. When she saw Grandpa's glasses in his shirt pocket, Rosie smiled. Perhaps she could use those. Minutes later, Rosie was holding her glasses over the paper at the bottom of the rocket. The light of the sun went through one lens of glasses and hits the paper. Come on, Rosie said quietly. Start a fire, please. Nothing happened. Let me see those glasses, said a tired voice. It was Grandpa. His eyes were open and he looked a little better. Rosie gave him her glasses. Quickly he pushed lenses around and held them together. Then he and Rosie held the lenses over the rocket and there's a small fire. The rocket flew into the sky. We did it! shouted Rosie. Chapter 5. Look there! shouted Summer. I can see fireworks in the sky. Max looked at the yellow and red lights and laughed. That's Grandpa and Rosie's rocket. We can't go and help them now, said Ben. Ben started to walk to the truck, but Summer stopped him. The truck's too slow on soft sand, he said. You must ride the camels with me. Come on. Grandpa and Rosie waited at the van. Did somebody see our rocket? Asked Rosie. I don't know, said Grandpa. The sun moved slowly across the sky and then Rosie jumped up. I can see something, she shouted. 3 camels are walking. As the camel came closer, she saw the people who were on them. Ben and Max are riding them. Grandpa stood up slowly. At first, he thanked Summer that he spoke to the 2 boys. It was very dangerous to walk into the desert, he said. Then he smiled. But you found Summer and brought him to us. Well done. Summer was looking at the van. I have ropes in my bag, he said. My camel can pull your van out of the set easily. Summer was right. And soon the van was ready to go again. Now you must see a doctor, Summer told Grandpa. I will, said Grandpa. He looked at Clunk. The robot wasn't moving. Then I'll fix Clunk, Grandpa said. But how can you go home with this van? Asked Summer. Watch, said Rosie as they got into the van. Suddenly there was light everywhere. The van was leaving. Goodbye, Summer, shouted Ben. And thank you. That's the end of the book. I hope you like it. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.